After that video call, I knew one thing for sure. That man was not who he said he was. What I didn't know is how I was going to handle him. Hey y'all, how you doing? Welcome back to the Fool Files on Nana Punkydoo and this episode of Dr. Catfish.
I'm working with a what I have now found to be a scammer. I have my proof now. My proof is that sorry about that. I lost my page. Um, my proof is that he. Well, first of all, I grew suspicious when he fell in love with me after a few days. Yeah. Um, and the FaceTime call, I forgot to mention, which I had already mentioned earlier, but the number came from Ghana. So I had a Turkish doctor who came to the United States, Alabama, no less. He came to Alabama to apply to work for the UN. Does that make sense? I don't think so. I don't think that's where you apply to work for the UN. I think that's would be in DC, don't you think? Not Alabama. But so a Turkish doctor came to the United States because he wanted to work for the UN, and who's supposedly an orthopedic surgeon who is now working in Syria, and his call came from Ghana. How many places can you I mean, that's a lot of countries right there. That's a lot of countries. So I don't know. Anyway, so the the FaceTime call, the deep fake did not work, even though he thought it did, which amazed me. I mean, he put a lot of time into that. It took him several days to come up with this like 30-second phone call, and he really thought it worked. He started texting me right away. Well, see, can't you tell now? Can't you tell that I'm not lying, that I'm real? And in the meantime, I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to block this guy right away, but what the hell am I going to do with him? How is this going to work? What am I going to do? And in the meantime, I heard from the other doctor, so I knew for a fact that you know this moron, whoever I was talking to, was not real. And I'm thinking, okay, this dude's a catfish. He's a romance scammer. This changes the game. And this actually makes it a game. It makes it a game for me now. Now I'm in the game, and it became fun for me. What do I do with them? What am I going to do with them? So I decide to play along because I know romance scammers, they can get a lot of money out of women. And what my whole intention was to take up his time. So if he was paying attention to me, because I knew what he was doing and I wasn't going to send him any money or anything, then the time he was paying attention to me, he wasn't going to be able to spend it paying attention to somebody else who didn't know and that might send him money. That was my worry. I was just trying to, you know, basically stop him from screwing somebody else and taking stealing somebody else's money because I knew he would. this is how these guys operate. They just go from person to person to person to person. They don't care who it is, and and steal their money. And it just it works for them. It works. It's their life. They're professionals. That's what they do for a living, and you know they're good at it. Well, some of them are. Some of them are pretty stupid. Come to find out. Um, so I have all of this proof, and I know the dude is lying through his teeth, but he he did not want to let go of that. He did not want to let go of the fact that he was who he was. He was telling me who he was, and that was it. So I'm playing this broke card like a champ. You know, he starts. Wait, okay. So he starts asking me for for these when I ask him about the video call, I did mention to him. I said, "Now wait a minute." I said, I said your your lips didn't really match with what your words were saying. I said, "What was going on with that?" And he said, "Oh well, that happens all the time because we're talking from such a distance away, and there's always a delay." And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "But there wasn't a delay in your laugh." He said, "That matched when I heard you laugh. I saw you laugh." And he just kind of skipped that one right over. He skipped that. He started talking about something else right away. I can't remember what he said, but he didn't want to talk about the phone call anymore. No, he was all done. All done. And he said, "I don't know." And then I asked, I said, "Why did the call come from Ghana?" He said, "Ghana." I don't know. He's my phone. My friend set my phone up for me. I don't know. I don't know these things. Your friend set your phone up? Why? You're a doctor. You can't set your phone up? Really? He said, "I don't know. I don't. My friend did it. I don't know. I don't know." And I'm just kind of laughing to myself again, and I let it go. I let it go. I know what's going on. So that's when he starts asking me for the for Apple phone cards for his internet because the internet is so bad. That's why the video call. That's why the video call cut off as soon as it did. And I said, "Really? I never knew that an army base would run on iTunes internet." I said, "You're a doctor, for Christ's sake. You can't afford your own goddamn internet. The United States Army doesn't pay for the internet. You're on an army base, for Christ's sakes." And he said, "No, it's just really bad. It's really bad." He said, I need Apple uh, phone cards." I said, "Well, I'm out of money." I said, "I am on disability. Not a lie. I am. I said, I only get paid once a month. Not a lie. I do. I said, and I've already paid my bills. Not a lie. I did. I said, so I don't have anything left. I can't send you anything. So I'm not going to send him a cent. So he said, oh, it's okay. It's okay. So it was okay for a while with him. It was okay. And they hate hearing that there's no money. Scammers hate this, of course, because that's the only reason they do what they do. So being okay was very short lived, of course. So he kept asking me. Of course, they don't believe that you don't have money, so they continuously ask. So um, we kept talking. We were talking all the time. We're texting, texting more. The calls started to get less frequent, which I didn't really care about anyway, because I was uh, getting really annoyed at trying to talk to him because it was putting a very bad taste in my mouth. So it was I was having a hard time trying to hide the disdain in my voice, and uh, he couldn't hear me through a text, so that was much easier. But then after I don't even know 3 or 4 weeks, maybe it might have been 5. I don't even know. He said, "Well," he says, I can't call you anymore because of my internet. My internet ran out." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Just check me then. I don't have any money." He said, You can't send me any. I don't have any. We won't be able to talk. I'll only be able to text you from the office." Okay. Yeah. And he didn't want to hear that. This is when he started getting a little bit huffy because he really did not want to hear this at all. Not at all, at all. And this is when things started to heat up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Um, okay. I'm on 14 minutes, so I think I'm going to head and end this one right here, and we will pick it up from here on the next one, guys. And again, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. This is number 3, the end of number 3. Next will be number 4. I really appreciate you hanging out and uh, sign up for or subscribe rather, and check out Goalie. They really do have a great product for any age, but especially for if you're going through menopause, they're awesome. Ashwagandha is fantastic for stress and for sleep and oh my god, mood swings and just check out Goalie and look at what everything is for. The link is all over the place, and I would check them out. No, they don't sponsor me or anything. I love their product. I just do. Uh, so you just check them out. They're great. It really doesn't matter what age you are. A lot of young people take them too. But anyway, I will get number 4 out as soon as possible. I'm hoping actually to record that one today too. But it depends on when I get to editing. So we'll see you soon, guys.